tell me about the right to shop. What is it, and how long did you work on it?
The right to shop bill, LD 445, we've been working on for about 3 years. Last year, the bill encountered a huge hurdle, a political hurdle, and that is to say my opponent for the Senate race, District 3, Jeff McCabe, really wasn't interested in that bill being passed. So, in fact, when the vote came down, it was a straight party line vote. But enough said about that. Going forward this year, I've been blessed with a great committee, a very bipartisan committee that was willing to work on 445 and recognize the merits of the bill. 445, the right to shop, as we say, was designed primarily to address the most important thing of all in regards to health care, and that is the cost of it. And in doing so, we realized that the public needed to be engaged in seeking lower cost health care. And as we all know, when you're going to have either an X-ray or an MRI or a blood test, and many of the procedures that we have, there are oftentimes wide ranges in pricing. So knowing that, we put together a bill that requires the insurance company to make available to the insured or the general public the right to shop for that care. And in doing so, they get rewarded. And that's the incentive that's going to allow people to go forward and shop for health care.
It's good to have people who are going to be motivated to find health care that they can afford, as opposed to being forced into health care that they can't afford.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to do two things. It's going to immediately reward them for doing that. And by the way, the bill is designed such that the information, the transparency is going to be available so that people can do the shopping. And not only are they going to be rewarded immediately, but it's going to play a huge role in driving down the cost of health care. And if you want, I can explain that for just a moment.
Sure, I'd love to hear it.
There's a simple rule called the MLR Rule. That's the minimum loss ratio. That rule applies to insurance companies and the amount of premium dollars that they collect. And what it means is that every premium dollar that they collect, 80% in the private market and 85% of that dollar goes to the cost of health care. The balance of the dollar is considered gross profit for the insurance companies. Now, if they don't meet that minimum loss ratio, there are huge fines, and in some cases they have to return premiums. So they really pay attention to it. So, simply put, if the amount of money that the insurance companies need to pay for the care goes down, then in order for that MLR rule to apply, so does the premium have to go down. So it's hate to use the word, the term no-brainer, but it really is. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So the MLR rule is going to play a key role in this. So as people shop for their health care, accept lower cost health care, get incentivized to do so, that MLR rule that's being applied is going to lower premiums because the amount of money that the insurance companies have to pay out goes down.
That's awesome. That's a huge step for Maine.
It is a excuse me. It's a big step for Maine. The incentives are really quite simple. They are cash payments. You can actually get cash back, or you can get credit towards your deductible, and other incentives are also going to be available. And this is going to be the option of the insurance company as to how they want to do this. And we thought by leaving that open, it will create a competitive spirit amongst the insurance companies, as well as the providers, because the providers, which entails a huge group of people, all taking part in the whole healthcare industry, are also going to have to pay a little more attention at their pricing.
Yeah.
It's called competition.
And competition works,
That
definitely.
sure does.
Now, you know a lot about insurance, and you chair the Insurance and Financial Services Committee. What sparked your interest in legislation around insurance?
Being put on this committee, I think had more to do with the fact that I was an insurance agent for John Hancock way back in the late 60s or early 70s. As a matter of fact, I was the youngest licensed agent that they had because I was licensed on my 21st birthday.
Now, it took a while to have the huge victory that you had last year with Right to Shop. You said it took about 3 years to get that through. Do you have any plans for any other big pieces you're working on that you hope to get through before the end of your term?
Let me answer that in two parts. In regards to having a lot to do with the Right to Shop and a few other good pieces that we did this year, I just want to make it clear that I was the vehicle that made this happen, okay? But there were a lot of more important people that were behind this other than me. There were a lot of architects and engineers that had been working on this for quite a while. So I was privileged to be here at the right time and carry this bill over the goal, if you will. In regards to going forward, I think the next thing that I'll be focusing on, along with this committee, is what's coming very shortly down the road in regards to the American Health Care Plan. We're going to be taking a really good hard look at that and seeing how that's going to fit with what we currently have as a state law, which has been trumped, no pun intended, by Obamacare. And that is PL 90. PL 90 is our current state law, which is something that I also had an opportunity to be part of back in the 125th. So that's the focus right now, is to make sure that the people of the state of Maine are able to continue to get good health care, and we have some of the best health care in the world, and it be affordable. That's the key, is to make sure that it's affordable.
Great. Well, we're so lucky to have you watching our backs up here in Maine, and thank you for sitting down with us today.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.